drunk. Green parks with shitting dogs. Hey policeman, I'm in 3 modern families. Faster, slower, shades on, hit the gas. Higher, lower, get into the control room. Don't get older. We're all passengers. We're toxic containers. Let loose on the train. Have fun, don't stay sane. It's a part of the game. Hoo-ha, hoo-ha. Abstainers, maintainers, rangers, gainers, entertainers, campaigners, retainers. Let loose on the train. Have fun, don't stay sane. It's a part of the game. Hoo-ha, hoo-ha. Let loose on the train. Have fun, don't stay sane. It's a part of the game. Hoo-ha, hoo-ha.
It's gonna be hard, but you can take it. Want you to cry, then you will fake it. Give it a beat and you will shake it. The finish line and you'll make it. Don't you let it get you down. Just keep getting up when you hit the ground. Don't you let it get you down. Just keep getting up when you hit the ground. Gotta be real with it. Never give up, never, never give up. Never give up, never, never give up.
If you want to be able to catch my live streams, because sometimes they can be sporadic, best to hit that bell notification so that YouTube will alert you whenever I do go live. This is an unexpected stream. Just that Bitcoin update. We'll get started in a minute. Just waiting for a few more people to join in. Thank you for your patience. Please buckle your seatbelt and enjoy your flight.
Never give up, never, never give up. Never give up, never, never give up.
As we wait for just a few more viewers to chime in, get ready for an old throwback. This is my salute to CBGB, and the punk rock movement in New York.
You lock what you see. Then please subscribe, and if you like what I do, then smash that like button too. And if you love to drink it down, leave a comment down below. I like road dog crypto. I like road dog crypto. I like road dog crypto. Road dog.
Don't stop.
Welcome to the stream, everyone. Let me make sure that my mic is on. Somehow I got caught up in everything and forgot to put my ear monitors on so I can hear what you guys are hearing. Just a second to get this all straightened out, and we will get started while we listen to the pump music, which is very not deserved today for Bitcoin because, well, some crazy things are going on. While I'm fooling with these monitors for trying to figure out which ear is going into the right ear, draw your attention to the Tangem website that is listed right behind me there. In my opinion, it is the most secure, best wallet ever. You do need an NFC enabled phone to use this wallet. It's the only drawback that I have for it. Supports Caspa, supports a lot of coins, a lot of chains. If you don't have one, you're missing out on the newest, safest technology. Tangem 1, Tangem 2.0, two versions of the wallet out there. One without seed phrase, the original seed phrase option on the second for you diehard seed phrase fans. Hey, Tangem. Let's jump into the chat. Are we ready? Hey, Jorge Satoshi is in here. Tenerife presente. That is totally the wrong page that we're looking for there. All right. So we're taking a quick look at Bitcoin because, man, it looked really, really bullish this morning, right? So we had, let's zoom out. Let's just go over what's happening because you got to zoom out to really appreciate what's going on in the bigger picture. So this channel here, this line, this is why I went in this orange one. It's making what we call a bullish megaphone. Actually, it's actually a bullish pattern and found a partial decline, which is usually what you see when these things start turning around. Came up and we actually had a breakout. Going through the Ichimoku cloud normally spits us out on the other side. So bigger time frames looks good. Actually, even on the daily, we just now got a green dot. So, and that's a bullish sign. Money flow's coming up, VWAP's coming up. There's actually some bullish signs on the daily, so let me get that out there. What we were experiencing is when you get a breakout of these patterns, a lot of times there's a retest. Now, if it's a hugely strong move, which those are rare, we don't get that, but we obviously are getting it here. So we start looking at this on the smaller time frame. So following it on the 1 hour, following this breakout, and just keeping the shorter term time frame to see what we got going on. Well, we got a bearish megaphone pattern, and what did it do? Well, it broke to the downside, but here's what we got to watch when we have a trend line that breaks. When it starts riding underneath it, that's actually a bullish sign. So it's a lot of times you look at coming up to these same areas, maybe double topping, but this is just part of our retest of this area, this big orange trend line we got here. Let me make it bigger so we can make it a little bit more pronounced. We know it's got more weight because it's bigger. There is a very strong chance, about 64% chance, we're going to come back and touch this trend line, either at the area, the price that we broke out, 27,167, that area, or actually come back and test the trend line at 26,931. This is all part of, you know, the normal move. Now, if we break back into this trend line, that's a bad sign. That's when you need to get scared. That's when you got to look, because usually if it'll be a bull trap, break back into the pattern. Where does it want to go? Well, it wants to go down to the bottom of the pattern, which is way down, or to wherever it can catch support. Most notably, it would retest this area here about 24.8. But we're not in that situation, and until we cross that orange trend line, no worries, man. Be happy. Enjoy life. Be hopeful. Make you some money. But you can play this on the way down, and now look at this big wick. This is just what got everybody confused just a few minutes ago. Even got me confused. Because I fell for your nonsense, market makers. Yeah. So unfortunately for me, I mean, I did get into a long, but it was such a tiny long because I was just nibbling. I didn't trust this move. I still don't, because I'm still expecting a retest of this 100 moving average somewhere around 26,927. That's what I'm looking for. We just haven't made it there yet. Chance we may not. May find support there in the 50 moving average. That would actually be a better choice, really, when it comes to the moving average strategy, because a bounce off the 50 would ensure, you know, that we can still go up. We have to come down to the 100. We're probably leg riding this thing. That will not be pretty. That's a scenario that I don't want to see. I don't want to see us come down and then because this is likely to happen on the weekend. That's why I'm throwing this out. This is Thursday. This is what the market makers do. They get us in an area where oh my God, it could go up or it could go down. We're at a precipice. We're on the edge of the cliff. Which way will it go? They love to do this every weekend. If you haven't noticed that, you haven't been paying attention, but I think you've been feeling it. So I think you have noticed it. So Thursday, tomorrow will probably be bullish and get us all excited, and then the weekend will, it's crazy what these market makers do. It's all a scheme. They want your money, and they're good at getting it. Because you can make all your money going up, feel like a genius. Yeah, killed it on that trade. And you don't leave, and then you get caught up in chop, and you end up giving it back, and they're good at getting that money back. They know how to get that money back. So, I mean, my scenario I don't want to see, other than us breaking into this trend line, that would be horrible. That's disastrous. But something that almost feels just as bad as if we just kind of ride this trend line down a little bit before breaking up, and that's a possibility. So keep that in mind. And the weekend action, we could be looking at something like that. No guarantees, but that's something that we see. So basically, in my opinion, it's probably good to look forward to next week for the real moves that are going to come, because at the end of the week, well, just like Monday is a false move, usually the weekends or the week ends around Friday, usually a false move there too. The futures markets are really in control of this, so we're following the CME, Chicago Mercantile version of Bitcoin. Probably get a little bit more insights. But you could look at this as a kind of a slanted head and shoulders, maybe, but when you do the actual TA with the trend lines on there, that comes out to a bearish megaphone, breaks to the downside, just like we had here. We were retracing it, and so now we got a new trend line, which is flirting with breaking on the smaller time frames. 4 hour says it wants to go down. We got the red dot on VMC, stochastic coming down, indicators coming down. So again, here's to watch out for our 27,252, 26,391, and oh man, I had to track it from there, but geez, let's hope we'll ride the trend line down. So this is 4 hour, looking a little bit bearish. Coming down to the 1 hour to see a little bit more information on what we got. We rose up through a red cloud, came down through a red cloud. Now sometimes these will bounce right out of that red cloud. So we got that possibility. On this time frame, this is equivalent to the 50 moving average on the 4 hour, where we drew our little line. Very good chance losing this 100, we can wick down here. Now there's a little bit of a trend line that was picking up here. I don't think it was this time frame because it's not matching up just precisely. But if I take the first wick we got there, line it up with the first candle bodies I've got, that pretty much defines where we wick down to. Trend line magic, that's what I call it. And that's my strategy for working these trend lines, because you'll find that it's very relevant. Start out from either a candle body if you can. And here we can still get a trend line that's very valid coming to the downside. So don't want to ignore that. But I start from the wick, go to the candle bodies, and works out very well. So will Bitcoin drop now, or will we still kind of stay in this range? There's a good chance we'll just stay in this range for a little while. These market makers are having a heyday. They love to do this on Thursday and Friday. Wednesdays and Thursdays are usually your best trading days, and your action usually takes place in the morning, somewhere between anywhere from 7 a.m. my time, Eastern Standard Time, generally up to around noon. And you usually find that we kind of follow more of the legacy markets. The New York session, we kind of follow that as being our strongest one. This music sounds really loud to me. Let me know if it's too loud. And in just a moment, we'll get over to the chat. So, getting back to what I was saying. Gosh, did you just forget? We're talking about the possibility of maybe staying in here for a little bit. It could happen. So this is where I kind of like take some fibs and guesstimate a little bit. So 27,153 is definitely on my radar, just for this particular move here if they want to come down. Don't want to clutter my screen too much. We are on it's a 1 hour time frame. That works. But if you're, let me show you what I'm doing. Where are we at here? Where are we? Is it this one? I got to move this guy over here. I've got 2 accounts set up over a Unix because every exchange is different. Sometimes they offer hedging, and they're going to do that eventually here, but right now they don't have it. So I got 2 accounts. I got one set up for shorts, and I got one set up for long. And I started shorting this. I did not catch that toppity top. Well, I did catch this area, but me adding to this has kind of lowered my entry price to 27,800 right there. Now I've got a stop loss that if we go up too high, I'll take my profits and I'll be out. Where's my stop loss? If you don't put the stop losses in, then they will wreck you, and eventually you'll pick that up and learn it yourself. Stop loss is at 27,538, so I'll still come out with a winning trade and having taken just a little bit of profit. Not a huge trade, 20% leverage, nothing major, but just working with what I got. Turning small accounts into big accounts. I recommend Unix is a great one. You got $100, send it over there. Great place to start your leverage trade. They'll give you a bonus. It was $10. It may be a little bit more, but an exchange I really like, and I'll be featuring them here on the stream. But that's what I've got going on over there. Now I'm also working on, this is my other big Unix account. Now I'm working on getting a long here, which I thought I opened one. I'm expecting a bearish retest, so I am actually going to open a very tiny one, just a nibble. I want to see if I can build a position here. All right, so I've just now opened one just because we're regaining our moving averages. That's why I did this, and not FOMOing in. I've actually got a little trade setup idea. I'm going to take this right back up to this area. It's a small one, man, but I'm on leverage here, so I should get about a 20% return off of this. So I'm going to monitor this, and when I get in profit, I'll set a stop loss. Go ahead and set a stop loss now. Because if we break, I'm putting a tight one, because if we break below the lowest low that we got there, this is obsolete. This is not good. I could put it a little bit tighter, but I'll stick with the 0.37. That's pretty cool. That's at, what is it? 27,236. I'll take that loss. That's my risk. So if I lose on this, I mean, I'm taking a 12% loss and I'm losing 50 cents. Can I deal with that? Yeah, that can actually help me decide if I want to put some more into this trade here as it grows and as it goes up, and then I can build this up. Now, I know you're used to seeing lots of people trading these big old multi-$1,000 trades and stuff like that. That's not me. I am a spot swing trader, a spot margin trader. The futures thing, this is gambling to me. So until my goal is to take a small account, like $100, turn it into 1,000. Okay, so I'm not going to be throwing $5,000 or $10,000 into perpetual futures and trying to make a killing. No, I'm going to start small, learn the lessons that I need to learn, which I have been doing, and there are lots of lessons learned on this. I've learned a lot about 100x leverage. I used to be terrified of it. I'm not now. I'm seeing the parameters that I can work with it, but it still kicks my butt. That's my real goal. I want to master some of these crazy trades. So you can learn a lot, and a demo account. Set up a demo account. You can do that on, I think, big Unix and most exchanges set up a demo account. You don't want to actually risk your own money. Great way to learn is with the demo account. Or, I actually say $100. Okay, let me explain this. I don't mean to digress, but I got a paper trading account. It's a demo account. You can get that straight through TradingView. But I don't really care about it. I don't follow it as much. I haven't even looked at this in weeks. So you got that disadvantage with the demo account versus like if you put your actual skin into it, like $100, just a small amount. You don't have to trade with the whole $100. Use the proper rules so you can learn. But then you start taking it a little bit more seriously, and that's the benefit. I actually believe it's more valuable to actually put just a little bit of your own money in over a demo account. But some people don't have it to do, so you start where you can start. All right, so the 15-minute, we'll check the smaller time frame, and then we'll get away from Bitcoin because, you know, my prediction, I already told you, we're coming on the weekend, man. You can't trust the weekend. Smaller time frames are looking good. That's why I wanted to open up my long. Where are all my moving averages and things? Are my indicators not working? What's it? Here we go. They kicked in. I must be taxing my computer right now. So here's the deal. When I blamed this all on the devil on my thumbnail, I was serious. It's all on the 1 minute time frame. Here's what happened. Let me break it down because it's kind of fascinating. So if you guys know, I've been using this. I've added some moving averages to my system, just more as guidepost, I would say. My 5 moving average system, love it. Highly accurate, highly accurate. But adding these other ones makes it even better. So this pink line that I've got here, we're teasing around and we're calling it Lucy's line because I did it for fun. 666 moving average. By golly, wouldn't you know, it plays a huge part in the market. Take it for whatever you will, read whatever you want to into it, but it does. So we're above it, we lost it, price got above it again, that's bullish. We got bullish, flipped off of the 666, ran all the way up, got back into the trend line where we're expecting a bearish retest. That's what we've been looking for. We've been talking about, hey man, this thing, price is looking bullish, but don't let it fool you. We're set up for a bearish retest to come up here and get rejected, which is exactly what we did. And what did we do? We came back down to see little Miss Lucy right here. And she was like, oh, you thought you had one on me, didn't you? No, she said, watch me dump it. She let it just fall right through. She did not offer support. She just let it fall right through. So it's Lucy's fault. Blame it on the devil. That's, if you're losing money, that's why. Told you get God on your side. I put the 777 and I don't see the result. So that's why we're not using the 777. We are using the 800, which is kind of close there. And the other moving average I have is the 366, which technically, you know, you 365. That's where this came from, but I fine-tuned it and found that one extra day, like a year and a day theory, actually seems more relevant. But I did that based on the days of the year, and it's very relevant too. So here we are, we're getting rejected here. Didn't even make it up here to the 200 moving average. That's a little bit sad. So right now on this 1 minute time frame, we're going to try to come down here to about 227,453. We're going to try to get a bounce. Will it succeed? Your guess is as good as mine. There is some bullish divergence been forming on these smaller time frames, like the 1 through the 15 minutes, something like that. And that's where we're finding support here. Will it hold? Well, maybe short term, but in my personal opinion, we're doing a bearish retest of the trend line that we just broke right here. So that's actually what I'm kind of looking for. We go from this wick right up through here and possibly right up through here. So a pullback up to maybe 27.65 is in order. But I'm foreseeing that we'll probably come up here and then we'll may come back down, retest this, see if it sticks. If it doesn't stick, and then we may be coming down to 27,153 in that area. That's what I got for Bitcoin. That's is what I see. Bigger time frames, smaller time frames. But remember, the bigger time frames look good. Daily's got a green dot. Doesn't mean we're going to shoot up, but it means that, hey, we should actually be on a more positive trend. This is just a healthy correction. Remember, bigger thing, it's a good chance to come back down here, retest it before moving up. Market makers just taking your money in the meantime, especially if you're using high leverage. All right, so welcome guys. Now whether you're watching live or watching this later, hopefully this TA will be of assistance to you and help guide you through this crazy, and it's crazy. Marco Shin, hey man, how's you doing? How you doing today? Michael Kalania, hey, I haven't seen you in here before. Welcome to the chat, man, or welcome to the show. We do this daily. Well, I don't do it daily. That's why you need to click on that notification bell. But I usually do try to do one at night. It's about 10:30 or 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And like I said, we go at nighttime is cool. We try to mostly focus on altcoins and finding, you know, the next hot ones and next gems, and sometimes doing a little deeper dive on them. We're trying to make that money for this bull market. Heaven Peck, hey, welcome to the show. Can we look at Soul co-founder stepping down? And I want to get it as cheap as possible short term. Okay, I don't understand. So, is there news? If I'm reading this right, is there news about Solana co-founder stepping down? Polygon. Oh, Polygon, not so. My bad. I'll get my coffee. Okay, no problem. You see how many times I messed up. Okay, so we're looking at Polygon. I'm not aware of any news, but a mic out of my face. Face mic. But the charts do tell all. I'm a firm believer in that. So Matic, I've actually not looked at Matic in a while. I do have some. I've got some on my iTrust account. Hey, my analytics show that a lot of you guys are around my age. So if you haven't looked into iTrust, do that. If you can use the link in the description, that's helpful. I think I got rejected as an affiliate, but it would still somehow help the channel. But seriously, do look in that, whether you use my link or not, look into iTrust. Trading tax-free, pretty cool concept. All right, so Matic Network. Let's zoom out, because we always like to zoom out to get the big picture. I was talking about Tangem earlier. I don't know if I mentioned this, but if you're trying to save 10% on the wallet, easy code to remember, DAWG, gives you that discount. Okay, my gosh, what have we got going on here? So we had a bearish pattern, expecting it to break to the downside. I've got a lot of scribble on here, so I do have some targets, but we'll just redraw this whole thing since I haven't looked at it in so long. Overview about what's going on. Okay, there's possibility that we're finding support at a major trend line. Technically, it's lost that trend line. Let me just double check my lines, make sure I got them accurate enough. That's pretty dang accurate. And I went all the way to the wick just to give it all that I could. It lost it. Now it looks like it's trying to break back in. And we got some divergence here. Price is coming down and our indicators coming up. Momentum wave, and also on the RSI. It's a little, it's slight, but it's there. That might give us enough to recover this 9 moving average, and that's what I say. You want to see price on whatever time frame get above the 9 moving average before you consider jumping in, because that confirms, hey, it's got a chance to be at least temporarily bullish on a bullish trend. Got to get above the 9. So let's come to the daily and look, and we are above the 9. Now these indicators are looking nice. We got the definitely do have bullish divergence here on our RSI. It's there. It's strong. It be strong. It's Kung Fu is strong. Is it going to be enough to get us up here? Probably not, because when we got to look at our moving averages here now, the 3 that I talked about adding, the 800, the 666, and the 366. Well, they're stacked into the negative, and the 200 is crossed there. So that's telling me we can probably very realistically expect some more downside from this. Even with this bullish divergence, it's probably just a retest of these areas. Most likely up here at the 200 moving average at 77 cents, maybe up to the 366 at 87 cents, maybe. But after that, if it gets that high, it may not even get past 62 cents. Whatever retest it gets, it finds rejection, and then we can probably look for some more downside on that, honestly. But this does hint that we're going to get a little bit of a relief here. So let's turn to our patterns, which is a falling wedge that we're trying to break out of with some volume. Now that's bullish. I like that. That's a good sign. That's actually a good sign for some more upside. But remember, we are on the daily, and the fact that these flipped on us, that's kind of significant. We're also kind of making a scallop pattern, which is kind of a rounded shape. They can get tricky to mess with, actually. But usually that does mean more downward action. You kind of have to watch those a little closely. So here's the main deal that we had. previously charted out is this particular trend line on Matic. All right, now let's go take our measure move from this right there, put it at the breakout. So this is saying that we should be coming right back down here to this area about 30 cents. We just haven't quite made it there yet. May not make it there at all. Just throw that out there. May not. But it may do something like this to get there. So just keep that in mind. We broke out of this, didn't really have a retest. We could go all the way up to the top of this trend line and still get rejected. Just throwing those possibilities out there. These moving averages are going to be a headache. We're going to have trouble getting past any one of those. All right, so let's get a measure move for this little guy here too. If you look at this, you're more in a falling channel. Let's thicken up his line so we can see him better. This is our current pattern that we're in now. Measure move for this one too. Suggest that we could come up here. Now this is coming up to about our 618 Fibonacci area. So we got some confidence that we may actually see these areas in Matic. So let's go ahead and let's peg that. Since we got confluence to the 50% to the 618 right through there. I don't see any signs that we're going to actually make it up to 133 at that area. But we do have a shot. There's our timer. That with this breakout with volume, good sign, is it will struggle. It's going to struggle here at 74 cents. And if it overcomes that struggle, it's going to struggle here again right around 90 cents. And if it can overcome that, it will most likely get rejected up here around $1.03. So it's going to have a little bit of a rough way to go. And a lot of our altcoins will, because and the clue to that is watching the total 3 market cap. And if you're not privy to that, I highly recommend that you add that to your toolbox. I could have just not done that at all. Is there a way to go back? Yeah. The easiest way for me to show that is right over here. And we should do that anyway. These are my crypto indices, right? I got Bitcoin dominance in the, what is it for you guys? Upper right-hand corner. Yeah, same as me. Upper left-hand corner, Bitcoin dominance getting a little rejection, but overall it's been going up. It's been strong. That's a good sign for Bitcoin. Right below it is the dollar. The dollar has been coming down lately, which is normally good for Bitcoin, but you can see where we line up. We've been coming down and Bitcoin's been going up like it should, and now we're both coming down. Here's what's interesting. This over here in the right-hand corner top, right over here in this area, this is total 3. This is the value of all of our altcoins without Ethereum, without Bitcoin. And people have been selling out. They've been taking profit as it went up, and they've just been getting out and going back into the dollar. And right below it is US dollar Tether dominance. So a lot of it's starting to go up. People are coming back into Tether. Even selling a little bit of Bitcoin, not so much Bitcoin, I don't think, really coming out of the altcoins. So that's why altcoins are kind of sucking right now. Some of them are still doing good, and it's worth taking a look at the ones that are staying strong. And maybe think about getting out of some of the weaker ones and transitioning a little bit more to some of those stronger ones that are showing strength right now, right? Now for the hourly, things look like they're doing all right. But for the daily, I mean, things have took a lot of hit. Gas was down to 4.7. Where was that 5? Where was that nickel price? So what I like to do is look at what's up for the year. And I've actually made a watch list. I've got 2 different ones. This is the one that I've been following all year. The guys that are just knocking it out of the park for the year. These are the ones that we need to look at. These are the ones we need to focus on. Pendle just being a kick-ass one. Sorry, I said ass for the YouTube algorithm. As if. And then I've got the newer ones that have been taken off. having to come up for the year. Some of them are starting to draw back. But these are the ones that are freshly, and then like in the second half of the year that have started poking up for the year. So these are the ones that are the late bloomers, if you will. And a lot of these are very low cap coins. CPR just killed it, but it's, have you still been going up? I looked at that chart and I did not like what I saw. I remember doing that, but now surprisingly, it's just got Mask doing very well. So a lot of these coins, that's how I kind of like to look at the market, and I like crypto bubbles because it just kind of makes it easy. But even on these, they've taken a hit for the day. Loom, am I still in you, Loom? I think I forgot the value of Loom. All right, so Matic, that's what I see. Now, let's take a So overall, I'm looking at a possibility of coming back down to 31 cents. I don't see it happening immediately. I see immediately a possibility of it coming up a little bit. 71, maybe up to 88. It would be awesome if it come up to $1, but that's as high as I can see. That would be an excellent area to try to short this if you're trying to do any kind of leverage or spot or margin futures or any kind of trading like that. Low leverage, 3 to 5% is very good for altcoins. More than that, you're starting to get a little bit risky. I would never go above 8. Well, I can't say I would never because I often do. It doesn't work out very good though. But to play it safe, somewhere between 3, maybe up to 7 X, if you're going that route. But remember, when it's all said and done, the people that really come out ahead in this bull market, they're not doing it with perpetual futures. You realize that perpetual futures came around like in 2018, 2017, something like that. The old school players made all their millions on spot. Dollar cost averaging, buying low, holding, but doing it according to the cycles. The cycle is key. And we're at a great time for these altcoins. If you like your projects, a DCA strategy cannot be beat at this time. And as a trader trying to trade it all, margin, perps, swing position, your longer trades, your bigger outlook is what pays the big money. And so the bulk of my positions, well, they're position trades, long term. I wouldn't even call them swing trades for some of them. I'm holding for a long time, like Rune, for instance. I'm not selling that thing because it's up. No. $16? Oh, we can talk about it. Probably talk about it at $8, to be honest with you. I like the moonbag strategy. This is the perfect time in the market with Bitcoin, with our cycle. Where is that chart? Oh, here's good. We'll go with the main futures one. This is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. I do not like this chart. That chart sucks. Okay, here's one we can read. So we're pretty much established this is our low for Bitcoin. It may come back down here. It may not. Don't really care. I'm interested in this part of the cycle. Just like what we were over here in the last one. Our last dip, we came up and then of course we had the surprise crash. So, you know, anything can happen. But DCAing into your coins through here? After we hit here? That's where the life-changing money was made for this. And then when we started going up, Bitcoin dragging all the altcoins with it, that was payday. The only thing is you got to keep your mindset straight and actually do your study and homework and realize, because when you start getting up here, nobody wants to sell. Nobody wants to take profit because it looks like it can go forever. And people forget to pay themselves and then they ride it all the way back down and get down in the dumps. Crypto's a scam. And there was a lot of people buying up here into all the hype. So doing it right at these times in the market back here and where we are now, it's going to be, if you take the long view, hard to screw it up. Hard to screw it up. Now, you'll watch your portfolio go up and down, and that's just part of it. But this is what the whales do, the people that made their money. All through this part of the cycle, wherever they're nibbling. Every time it comes down, they're nibbling. That's what I've been doing too. And I'm having to be patient with my payoff, but I've got it set up where it will be a good one. God willing. I can't look at the chart and not draw on it. All right, let me let's go to the chat. Anything you guys want to take a look at, I am happy to do that. I just cannot find my chat. Where are you, chat? Oh, thank you for joining the fan club. I put out a notice on there. I want to know what kind of perks you guys that are joining and supporting my stream by joining the membership. What kind of perks can I give you? This is all new to me, so I want to give value specifically for you guys. So I put a post up on the channel asking that same thing. So just leave some comments and let me know, and hey, I'll put it out there. We'll add some value because you guys are giving value to support my channel. I appreciate that. That means a lot. So private streams or going over certain Pointer Crest or video, I don't know, whatever you guys want, we'll fit it in. All right, so Bitcoin, while we're here and we're on the daily, I do want to, it's trying to print something that looks similar to an inverted head and shoulders. Is it? Well, the neckline's kind of iffy for me, but it might be a funky one. To me, it looks like market makers just really trying to do something to get us all loaded up. This is technically bullish, and a measured move for this move right here should take us somewhere in this neighborhood, about 29,400 is what that says. Will it play out that way? Well, maybe not, because a lot of times these only make it up about 50% of the way. So 28.3, where we actually did touch, may have met the satisfaction of that particular weird inverted head and shoulders pattern. Possible. I watch other YouTubers and I get tickled. It seems like, I was watching one, it seems like he flip-flops a lot though. He went long right before we got this dump here, but after the fact, suddenly he sees everything, and then when it came down and started reversing, well, it's on these smaller time frames. He was very proud about how to call the bottom and how he can teach everybody to call the bottom, but if you can call a bottom, you can call a top. So, I don't know, it's just interesting. If you play this market, you cannot be right all the time. You can't. You can make mistakes. And even if you are right, doesn't mean that you play them out right. A lot of times I get, nail the TA, but screw up the trade. It happens. It's a gradual onset. And that's why I'm messing with futures in tiny amounts. It's actually helping me to correct some and realize some habits. But I'm using very small accounts until I get some of these things worked out. It'll make you a better spot trader. As long as you just don't go all in. I look at futures trading as more of a challenge, a learning challenge. I think that's a healthy way to look at it. Because it will wreck you easy if you do not cover your basis and if you do not keep your mindset in check, because you get a win and you're like, all right, yeah, I think I understand. I get this now. Yeah. You start feeling good. And that's when you'll give it back. Every time. So I see a bearish retest here on, what are we, the 15-minute? I think we talked about the possibility that happened. We got the 9 getting ready to cross over here. There are bearish crossings here that should drive us down. If we were right back in here, that could be bullish short term. It's going to try. There's just some bullish divergence there trying to kick it up. But overall, I'm still looking for that drop. If I see a chart, I'm gonna start talking about it. I can't help it. So if you want to talk about a certain chart, you got to mention it. If somebody wants to see something, I'll be happy to look at it and maybe do one or two more. And then I think my stream time is over. This was just supposed to be an update. Saint Janus Mike, more flip-floppers in crypto than almost anything else. True. And if you don't get your mindset right, you can find yourself flip-flopping. You get where it's confusing on the charts. And the best thing I can tell you is zoom out, man. I mean, go back to the monthly and the weekly if you need to get grounded. That's where you're going to find your answers, is on the bigger time frames. Currently, the weekly is trying to do something here. The monthly, though, even the monthly, it flipped. We did have a red dot there. The monthly is trying to want to do something. It could do this for a little while. Red dot, green dot. So you got to look across all your indicators and, you know, all the tools in your toolbox. That's really what this is. This is just finding things that work for you and building on them and adding those tools to your toolbox and developing your own strategy. And hopefully I can give you some ideas that work for me. Moving average strategy works wonderful. Ichimoku Cloud gives me insight that I would not see otherwise. This whole Ichimoku Cloud tells me that we got a really, really good chance to come out of this ahead. And so it's just these little things that you add to your strategies. And it's, you know, you don't have to do what everybody else is doing. You don't have to use all the indicators I do. You use the ones that work for you. But I do use most of the standard ones. The only one that's not so much standard is Market Cipher. But I use the VMC because when I first got turned on to this, and this was the hottest indicator and everything, I couldn't afford to go pay $1,000 for this indicator. Well, there happens to be a free version on TradingView that is beautiful. Casper looking like it's coming down to, what, 41 cents, you think? I'm hoping so, because I want a bigger bag of Casper. Ooh, weekly's up there. So yeah, I've been covering this a lot, and it's still my video on this from what, a week or two ago is still valid. It did what I expected it to do, came down and came back up here to this area, and it's got to change. You know, it should fall to the downside. It should. That's what it's supposed to do in this pattern. Still looking for that to happen. There is some bearish divergence here on the weekly, but there is also that weird possibility that if she breaks up and gets above 58 cents, this thing is going to the moon like 10 cents. So that's the fake out, I guess you can call it that I'm just keeping my eye on. But yeah, smaller time frames, it looks like we just broke that trend line. Yay, baby, come on down. Some people are going to hate me for saying that, but I've had this particular fib level I've had here. It's got up there. It's touched it 1, 2, 3 times. It's short. It's not really made it higher. I guess I can lower my threshold. Now it might be risky. I don't know. I don't think it's risky to short it. If you try to short it as top up here, but we did break that trend line. Pulling a simple fib should give us a general idea what to expect, and couple that with our moving averages to get a little confluence, and yeah, about 4.1 to 4.3 cents right through there. And I like that because it's, if you want to long it off of this bottom trend line, if it reaches the bottom trend line here, you can put a tight stop loss. I love those tight stop losses on setups like this, because if you get stopped out, you know it will be because it broke this trend line. You put your stop loss underneath the trend line, it breaks it. You know, your idea is invalid anyway. So you did the right thing. Same thing with the shorting up here, putting a tighter stop loss above the zone up here. And you can tighten it up as, you know, price starts coming away from it. So Caspa coming down at least at the 200 movement average here on, I'm on the 8 hour. Let's get on to a more short-term time frame. So this is my 366 moving average I got there. I think if we lose the top of the trend line, we're always, you know, we touch the bottom of the trend line eventually. So what percentage down is this? That's about a 16% move from where it broke out. And from where it is now, we got a 10 to 14, 15% move to the downside. And I'm sure it'll do a lot of, it won't be a straight down. I'm sure there'll be a lot of zigzag and people changing their mind and, oh no, we're turning around now. Remember, it can also do a retest of this area. That's what I'd watch for. The biggest thing I could give here is take a Fibonacci. We lost the 236. I would look for this area at 4.6. We will probably catch traction here. And technically, a bounce off of here, we could start doing all this again. Just going back up again. That's a possibility. 382 is a great place for a stronger reversal. The 236, probably your strongest. Get a bounce off of that, expect more upside. Where are we? Where's my tool, man? But this would be the area to watch right here for it to bounce. That could happen. And it may come back up to this area for a retest. It may come back up to the trend line into the short area. You know, at this point with Caspa, it's so strong overall. I mean, look at this. They're moving average 800, the 666, the 366. They're all strong and headed to the upside. That's where all the horsepower is. Still moving us to the upside. And our smaller ones are just going to bounce and dance off of those. So still, even though we broke this trend line, overall it's still bullish until we actually break this bottom trend line. I can't say anything too bearish about Caspa. Even though, man, when things get hot, they need to cool off though. But I would love to get it at some cheaper prices and build a bigger bag of Caspa. Could be going for a triple top idea if the scenario plays out, or something similar to it. Mike says, I'm in a buy and hold Bitcoin mode till we get above 30K. That is not bad at all. You will look back and say, dang, I did good on that. You're doing just fine, man. Because we will get above that on Bitcoin. We will. We're just in a zone for Bitcoin right now. We're just at a level. Oh, this is my crazy chart. I need to redo this at some point. I think I'm going to go ahead and... I remember the dates I've got on this. I just need to make it more attractive. But let's kill some of these moving averages here. So we got 3 levels that we've been working with here, and that's... We got this zone, and we got this little narrow zone that we're in now, and this one. I guess we could shorten this one. We can actually put about 4 little levels up there. So in my opinion, we are quite possibly just going to trade within this little zone, this little range. And without getting into too much detail, possible inverted head and shoulders could drag us to the downside. Yeah, and a lot of us are starting to see that. And the more of us that see it and go with it, the less likely it is that might happen, because market makers are not stupid. Being in this Ichimoku cloud gives us a chance to go to the upside, so maybe we could be doing a channel. That's a possibility. Or maybe we're going to trade this range and it's an accumulation, and then we'll wick down, scare everybody out, do the little Wyckoff accumulation thing, and then take off from there. So 3 scenarios I'm looking at on the big picture right here. What I'm not looking at is straight down. I'm not seeing that. But we're reclaiming some areas, but we're having a hard time here at 28,000 till we get a flip above that. It's going to be a little bit hard, but I've been looking for us to come and retest this 50 moving average at 24.8. Hasn't happened yet. It wicked close to it, but I need a confirmed touch there. And I think if it does that, then we go to 29.5. However, maybe it satisfied it there. Maybe we'll go there, get rejected, and then come back down. Oh gosh, that gives us our head and shoulders right there. That makes me want to look at that just a little bit more then. Okay. Because we are above the 9 on the weekly. So what I'm saying here, I just saw a little extra clue that, yeah, maybe that scenario will work out. That's just how I kind of look at things. Never know what's going to happen, but you just play what you're given and play the probabilities. GFAL and JoyStream are my top holdings. Hey, I'm liking JoyStream a lot. I wish I'd seen it a lot earlier. Gains for a living. I think I'm flirting with that, but I don't have a big position on that. I am looking on trying to build a bigger position on JoyStream for a longer term hold. Because it's got the best potential of anything I'm seeing right now. A lot of the coins that, you know, we're a lot of times we're looking at the ones that ran last time and some of the OG plays, and we kind of see their performance just kind of trail down a little bit over time. The ones that are really going to win in this bull market, a lot of them are not even out here yet. A lot of them we don't even know yet. So it's always good to have a little dry powder on the side for that. I'm preaching to myself, I guess. I'm still trying to accumulate some more dry powder, taking profits here. Gains for a living. Let's look at it on MXC. It's doing awesome. It deserves some respect. Let's paint some respect on to gains for a living for this big old pump on the weekly chart. I want to. No, I don't want to clear this off. I just want to erase some of this noise. But respect. So she's getting tired and looks like she needs a little bit of a correction. I got our main trend line that we may come down with. It may break that trend line. So to understand this, you know, we do have to zoom out. Let me clear this off just a little bit. Rising wedge broke to the upside, goes parabolic. We're going to start seeing that play out more from here until even just a little after the halving. That's going to be one of the signs to watch for. Rising wedges and rising channels breaking out opposite of what they normally do. And then the price takes off. Great strategy. Keep that in mind. Look at rising wedges in a different way during a certain point in this market. You're like, oh yay, a rising wedge. Ooh, we got a chance. When used to in the bear market, you look at a rising wedge, oh crap, man, we're getting ready to drop like a rock. So you can already see the sentiment change in the market because used to we get to resistance. You remember last year? The wind would blow the wrong way, and we just drop. We go up and drop, go up and drop continually. Well, we're not doing that anymore. Now we're coming down and bouncing up. We're coming down and bouncing up. So, I mean, we're in a bullish trend. We're not in the bull market, but we are in a bullish trend now. So a retest of this area is likely. That's my long-windedness trying to get over to say that. Normal, look for your normal retest. And I've already got a box there. I was trying to draw a box. Just got to raise it up just above that trend line. As long as this trend line holds, you're good. Now, if it breaks back into this trend line, yeah, get ready. It's going to drop to the bottom and possibly drop out of it. That's what they do. So very important that this level holds. And it's got a very good chance of coming back down to, what is that, 2.2 cents, 2.3 cents in that area to retest it. And then we can move up. So likely it may even make a head and shoulders or something crazy up here and come down. And then we'll start riding underneath this trend line and go in a different trajectory and should start making those moves if this holds, if this holds. If this does not hold, this is out of the question. It is not going to happen. But so far, so good. We can also cheat a little bit. I do already have some targets because I've looked at this recently. See how we're holding up here. See if we got anything new with any new information. And we do. Or actually, I'm going to clear this whole thing out. With the new information, just get some whole new targets here for games for a living. Same stuffs. Some people might have saw this as ascending triangle. I don't, because this candle close is higher than the other ones. I mean, if I go my candle closes on the daily, that's my most accurate trend line. And that's the one that I would expect to retest. And you can also, I like to do that. I like to go with my candle bodies, and then for the extreme of it, I like to go to the wicks. Trying to make a copy of it, it's not working. There we go. And it respects that angle. Confluence, I don't have it exactly right here, but close enough. So it has been retesting the wick area, so to me that's good. It's got a chance to come down to the 50 moving average. If it loses the 21, which is the red line, it's getting ready to, it's trying to. Highly likely it will. If it doesn't, then we're blessed. Ichimoku cloud's getting thick. Coming back to the 21, so my TA's not changing. Right here at 21.22 cents, I think is going to be a place to load up again. Now let's get some targets. Measure move should take us up to 3.3 cents. That was a strong move for this particular measurement here. Went all the way past the 618. I think that's interesting. Okay, so that was our measure move, and then when I pull up my fibs, my little magic area, -27, if you don't have that, you're missing out. Gives us confluence to that same exact area right there. It's highly likely that we will reach that target of 33 cents. Put a bonus target in there just in case it gets a little feisty. 414, the 382, those are good ones. Oh, did I erase that? Should this thing bail and come down, this 1272 is your target. If things just go against, if we break back into the pattern, break it, this is your target at 0.0076. But it looks very poised to either retest this. Well, the 50's down here. If we lose the 21, I'm counting on coming back to the 50. If it does do a retest, you got a 50% return on your investment catching the retest of this trend line. So keep that idea open. Either the jump in or add to your bags. And we're looking at what, game for a living? Sometimes I forget what I'm even looking for. I'm going to caution against this big, thick Ichimoku cloud, because if price starts touching that, getting into this, it's going to suck it in, and then you may see the bad situation happen. So that's why I always keep a cloud on my screen. It can warn me of some things I wouldn't see otherwise. So the biggest thing I've got on the daily is watching for the 21 to cross, or the green, the 9 to cross over the 21. When that happens, expect the 50 to come into play. Now let's go down to the smaller time frame and see what's happening, because that'll give us a little bit more information. I like how it retested that trend line though, that dotted trend line. I like that. It retested the solid one here. Okay, so that's worth noting. Could that be our official retest? Maybe. A secondary retest? Maybe. Will it come down, maybe do it again? Maybe, I don't know. It's losing its moving averages here. It's showing some signs that it wants to come down on the daily, so it's headed toward the 200 on this particular time frame. And that's about 2.4 cents, so watch for maybe a bounce. I'm still looking at this area down here though. Still am. So that's basically what I got. We're good as long as we don't break back into this trend line for a little correction and then further move up. You want to see where it might go after that? Not the greatest, but possibly up to 3.8. We'll throw a bonus target in there. Color it white or gray. Color it gray. It's a gray area. Now, if it were to do that, that'd be a nice little return there, but no guarantees on that. So here's the thing. So we got a little bit of a parabolic move maybe starting. What we want to see is it to actually form a parabola, because that's what should be starting to happen. And so roughly this should be fairly correct. Don't have a ton of touches to confirm it. I got 2 at the bottom here. This is what we want to see play out, and what it's set up, what it should be trying to do is something that will just make it go up like that, and we'll have 5 steps, up to 5 steps. So it's in the early stages of trying to pull this move off. Will it be successful? That's why we got to watch it closely. But Gains for Living looks good to me at the moment. Just needs a correction. And of course, JoyStream. Don't make the mistake I did that I preached about and warned about. MEXC, the JoyStream is normally ticker symbol Joy, but on MEXC, where you can get it on the on centralized exchange, it's JoyStream. Joy is a totally different project. I thought I was getting a great price on this one, like an idiot. We corrected all that. We're good, and I had done some of it right, but I guess I got distracted and succumbed to the error that I was warning against. So trying to build me a nice little bag of JoyStream. We did break this trend line, so we're coming down, and I'm trying to look at this little buy zone between 3.7, 3.8. I think that's juicy. It's in a parabolic structure too, just like what we're talking about, what we might see happen on Gains for a Living. We're seeing this happen on several different coins, and it's showing some strength, and I'm trying to keep tabs on those. So if any of you guys see this happening on some coins, by all means, mention them on the stream. We need to track those. They could do some interesting things here. So as long as we can maintain this parabolic line, this curved line, we're good. If we break it, then we're looking at our bargain area about 2 to 3 cents, which I will snap this up in a heartbeat. All right, guys, that's what I got for today. We're going to go over my face changed. How did that happen? Okay. I'm Gene Simmons now. I didn't even notice that. Okay. Tonight we'll be going over some more altcoins. Nightly stream. I do plan on doing that. This is just kind of a surprise one. Just kind of update on Bitcoin, which we'll take one last final look as before I nod off here. Which one am I actually following? This is the one I'm actually trading on. So still looks like we're trying to get her little pullback here. She's finding support here, but she's lost the 200. We're on the 15-minute right here, and those are coming down. I'm just waiting to see if this trend line will actually break and bring us back down to this orange one. So that's what I got to look out for. With the 100 being above the 200, there's a chance it can regain. I mean, our 21 still up here. If we regain the 9, we should try to retest the 21, and right now it will continue dropping, but right now it's hanging around 27,648. There might be a short-term pump up there, but overall it looks like rejection. Retest this at 27.4 and then maybe some lower areas, especially as we're going into the weekend. So that's just what I'm going to caution. But when we get down here, 26.8, wherever we broke out of, either at that price or on the trend line, we might see a bounce. Because overall, it's starting to look a little bit bullish for Bitcoin. We're just pulling back. It's a correction. Unless we break back in this line, this is a different story. All right, guys, I'll see you tonight. Appreciate you being here. And if you can, do Elvis a favor. For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much. God bless you guys. Keep your mindset straight. Don't let these market makers take your money. Sometimes it's hard not to because they're good at it. Just be watchful for them. They want your Bitcoin. They want your crypto. Pex says, I'll try to make a stream, but my family is starting soybean harvest. Hey, cool. It's a whole deal. I bet it is. All right. Well, you can always check in later and you can skip through all the boring parts. All right. But I appreciate you for being here. I appreciate you for joining the channel. Thank you so much. Glad to have a woman, I think, right? I can't see your picture. I think you're female. Most of my viewers are male. So I like getting female. We need more women in crypto. And my channel respects women. We do. All right. God bless. Keep your mindset straight. Keep God first in your life. God will help you out. Until then, see you later.
Come on, come here, boy. Come on. You freaky dog. I don't need to analyze. Every word that comes out is a lie. Make it look like you're so ice, ice, ice. You won't make it to the finish line. Now if you gotta know the truth was gonna let you go. You was fine, never mind, unpredictable. Fade eye off the ground, you ain't no one. You a star, blow it up like supernova. In the nighttime, hit my hotline. Sharing secrets, you wish really was part your life. Basic bullets, with no bullets. Does your wifey know you're begging for my notice? Promise you're the same, running for the meds. Show you like my vibe.